My name is Ross Harper, and I play the steel drum, and I play for all kinds of different functions, from private parties to weddings to concerts, so whatever people want. Well, I started on drums and percussion, and I had studied music, and I just really fell in love with the sound of it. It is such a bright and happy sound, and really unique too from other instruments. And so that's what really got me hooked on it. Yeah, it is set up different than many instruments. It's not just like a drum because you can play melodies on it. So it's a melodic instrument, but even though the arrangement of the notes is totally different than most instruments. So there were some challenges in there, but you know, it's fun too. It's a fun instrument to play. Well, certainly the instrument is unique, and most of the music that comes from the Caribbean, where the steel drum came from, is exciting, you know, joyful music, and yet it's still unique. It's a specialized kind of thing, so it's not something that is so common that everybody's heard it, and that makes it really fun for people to have something that's unique and also is such a happy, joyful sound. Yeah, I started on trumpet pretty early. I was probably 4th grade, but you know, I've always been attracted to music. So, and I've just kind of, like I said, I went through drums and percussion and finally really settled on this. It's fun because since it's associated with the islands, for a lot of people it brings back happy memories of a cruise. And yet, even for little children, they respond really favorably to this bright, happy sound. So it's fun because it really, all ages can appreciate it, from the young to the young at heart. For weddings, usually it depends on the part of the wedding that they want the steel drums for. Certainly there's the ceremony part, the cocktail reception, and usually the dinner reception are the main parts. And the steel drums work great for a cocktail reception because the wedding has just been, you know, the ceremony has just gone forward and everybody's ready to party and to celebrate. So certainly the music fits that vibe. But people are really surprised how well it works for a ceremony, just because it's a unique sound. And yet, even when you play the traditional ceremony music, like the Wedding March or Paco Bell's Canon, it just brings new life to some of these really old and classical songs. So that works well, and we do also for the dinner reception, when people usually want more entertainment as far as dancing, I can provide larger bands for all that too. A lot of people think, sometimes may think, well, I need to have a Caribbean themed party for the steel drums. And although that's perfect for that, a lot of people find that even any kind of event that you want festive, happy music for, the steel drum is perfect. So it's not like you have to have a Caribbean or a luau theme. But I play backyard parties, certainly. You know, we do corporate events. Even things, civic events, grand openings, you know, all these kind of things that are a celebration or that you want a festive atmosphere for, we can do all that. Well, certainly you want to set the right mood, you know, as the guests are arriving. So usually we want to be there and playing first, and that creates that first impression, whatever theme you're going for. Just to start out with some festive music certainly is an important part for a party. And then it takes an experienced musician to be able to play at the right volume level. So you want to have somebody that's experienced so they don't play too loud so the guests can't talk, or and somebody that can find a nice variety of music to play as far as styles. I think all that's important, so it's not just one thing, and you know, it could get boring after a while. If it's a ceremony, then a lot of times they like the classical music. And then when we get into more of the cocktail reception, play a nice variety of stuff from calypso music, from what Harry Belafonte made famous, to more modern calypso, the reggae music like Bob Marley, throw in some salsa music, some bossa nova like Girl from Ipanema, all different kinds. And that's what makes it fun, is to hear a variety of styles. That's what I've found anyway. Well, it is a fun instrument to play, and I think really the purpose of playing music here is for other people. So, you know, there's great joy in bringing happiness to other people with the music that you're playing. And so that's really, I think, what it's about. If you were playing for yourself, you'd just stay at home, you know. Yeah, I think most musicians play every day, even if it's not your instrument, it may be other instruments. I like to compose as well, but I do work a lot, and so, you know, I keep up my chops on this instrument as well. And it's a lot of fun. I play percussion. This is part of the percussion family, but I play other percussion instruments too. Professionally, there's several instruments that I play, maybe not professionally, but that I have fun on. Well, this one was really the one that caught my ear, and so there's a whole family of steel drums. Actually, there's sets of 2 and 4 and basses, kind of like you have the string family. It goes from a violin all the way down to the basses. Well, there's a whole family with these. So. I actually have some of the other ones. It's fun to even play the basses when there's an opportunity for a larger band. Well, I really tailor it to what's appropriate for the event. So if it's, you know, sometimes it'll be me on the steel drums with a guitar player. Sometimes if people really just want the sound of the steel drum, then we'll do several steel drum players together on the range of the instrument. So it really depends on what's appropriate and what the client is interested in. And I help them, you know, answer those questions about what would be appropriate. There's more DJs now probably than at some of the weddings and some of the events. And so when you hire live music, people go, wow, you know, it's not the same as the DJ spinning the records. Live music you really can't reproduce it with a CD. So I think in that regard, because people are maybe more used to a DJ thing, they're really more excited when they get to hear live music again. Well, there's certainly a fascination in watching it being performed. You know, and a recognition that there's all the time and skill that went into doing and mastering this craft. And also there's, like I said, there's a sound from a live instrument that, yes, you can record it real well, but it just doesn't project the same as if you play it through a CD and a speaker. You know, and then when you have a whole band of people playing together and creating this energy, that's something that really people respond to. Well, I think, you know, music is obviously going through the ears there, but it also reaches the heart as well. It's an emotional music, and you know, when you look at a painting, that's with the eyes, and you know, when you're reading, it's with the eyes, whether it's poetry or literature. So in that way, the music is going into the brain differently, and it's responding. People respond differently to it. Yeah, I've had the privilege of playing quite a few high-profile events with a symphony orchestra. We've been in a band that was the featured artist in a pop concert, so we had a whole orchestra behind us and around us, and for several shows across the country. That was a lot of fun. I've done some soundtrack work for movies with Eddie Murphy and Sandra Bullock, and not too long ago I was on the Deal or No Deal show with Howie Mandel, and so that was a lot of fun to be there with a live television audience and escorting the guest out and playing to pump them up. So it's been a fun career as far as all different kinds of things. I do have a CD that I produce with all original music in the styles that I do, and so I had several players from my band that played on that, and there's info on my CD on my website too. Sure. Yeah, it is pretty unique. A lot of people maybe have heard the sound but not seen it, or really know where it came from. But it came from the southern part of the Caribbean and the island of Trinidad. It was really invented in the late or early 40s, I should say. And out of steel barrels, sometimes you see them as a full-length trash can, and they took the bottom and they hammered it all out, and it kind of looks now like a turtle shell inside out there. But they've shaped different sections to be different notes, so it's a melodic instrument, but it still has a rhythmic, percussive sound to it as well. Well, I did hear a player from the States that really excited me. His name is Andy Norell, and I bought some of his records, and he helped me find somebody to make an instrument for me. They're still, you know, it's an imported instrument, so there's not a lot of them in the Guitar Center or something like that. But after I learned to play, I did go down to Trinidad where the bands originate, and they have a big carnival competition, and so I got to play with the bands there, and they'll have 100 people all in one band playing steel drums, and it's just a huge sound. It's a lot of fun. So I got to do that, and because a lot of people ask me, well, where did you learn to play? You know, you don't look like you're from the islands, but so that's sometimes maybe a common misconception that you would have to be there, but I have to have come from there to know how to play the instrument. But I have been down there, and it was a lot of fun, and certainly the people embrace you when you show interest in their culture and their music. They were very friendly and warm to that.